Welcome inside good old park in Sanford, Maine for the second leg of this Thursday night GNCBL doubleheader. This will be the other winners quarterfinals match of this double elimination bracket, this time between the league's top team, the 13-10 Nor'easters, and the 4-seeded 8-8-1 Lightning, fresh off their wild card win. I'm Charlie Fellows, as always, to take you through this one. And taking the Nor'easters through the early innings will be Dylan Miner, making his first playoff start with a defense around him of Brady Graffam at first, Luke Chessie at second, Jack LeBlond at short, Gus Lappin at third. The outfield from left to right, Chris Balzano, Michael Weirin, and Ryan Robertson. And Dylan Furman doing the catching for the East Baldwin native. Miner, a senior at USM out of Sacapee Valley High School. So far this season, he has thrown 29 in the third innings, ERA at 2.86, and in 34 strikeouts, which are third in the league. He has been effective, especially lately. His season got off to a somewhat rocky start, but he has found his groove his last few starts. He has been very effective. Strike one fired into the leadoff man for the Lightning, Andrew Heffernan. The Lightning have all their most terrifying bats in play, and that's a deep hit out to left, just as I said it as well. Andrew Heffernan gets the party started with the first of what will likely be many hard knocks. That's a single for him. One pitch, one hit for Miner. And now Campbell Cassidy, who was the hero of the wild card game on Sunday against the Windjammers. He knocked a 3-run home run over the Old Orchard Beach ballpark fence. That was the moment the game was blown open. That ended up being a 7-2 handy victory for the Lightning, the defending GNCBL champs. Looking to repeat. Dylan Miner trying to make it as hard as possible for him. The winner of this game will advance to winners finals to take on the Norsemen, who won their half of this doubleheader, coming from behind as they so often do to defeat the Patriots 4-2. The winner of this game will face the Patriots, who lost that game. Both of those matchups will be as part of the triple header this Sunday at Old Orchard Beach, and I mentioned it on the first game tonight, but in case you weren't listening to that, those games will all be live streamed. I am ecstatic to announce there will be an announcement on the YouTube page. I'll tweet about it as well to my audience of no followers. 1-2 on Cassidy, the Edward Little High School graduate, and he just held up. 2-2. Cassidy, he and Heffernan squared off in the Maine Class A High School Championship this spring. Heffernan's Sopo Red Riots took down Cassidy's Edward Little squad. That's hit right at the second baseman. On to short for one, on to first in time to turn two. Nice play, the connection from Chessie to LeBlond to Graffam. A 4-6-3 double play, and they're two away. Base is empty for Richie Gilboy, Heffernan's teammate on South Portland. He's heading to St. Michael's in the fall. Gilboy has been the best hitter for the Lightning this summer. He's hitting .354, which is fifth in the league. He has 2 home runs, 16 runs batted in, which is third, slugging .563. Miner not giving him anything to hit so far. The Lightning got the better of the Windjammers on Sunday. The Windjammers are unfortunately eliminated at 5th place as Gilboy skies that back. 5th place out of 5. The league's top strikeout man and the league's top hitter both went down with that ship. But lest you think this playoffs will be drama-free, think again. The game we just saw in the first half was one of the closest games I've called all year. Went back and forth all game. It had just about everything. And timely clutch hitting, masterful pitching, bewildering officiating, the whole kit and caboodle. That's down first base foul. 2-2 on the former Red Riot, defending Maine Class A champion. Low and away. This game was originally penciled as a 7:30 start. Didn't get started until a shade past 8. So calling the night shift I am today. Payoff pitch for Minor. Mile high pop. Fouled back out of play. Night has begun the advanced stages of falling to the point where you can even see it on the broadcast. Weak grounder to first. Throws on to Minor, who steps on the bag, beats out Gilboy by a hair in time to retire the side. Nothing doing for the Lightning in the top of the first. We'll meet the Nor'easters when we come back. Bottom of the first, Nor'easters getting ready to bat, and they'll do so against Josh Kopetsky, who is similar to Dylan Minor, had a slow start to the season, but has really been finding his groove since he has been put into Coach Matt Powers' starting lineup. The defense around him, Richie Gilboy at first, Grady Hotham at second, Henry Bebo at short, Andrew Heffernan at third. The outfield, Matthew Connor in left, Henry Lodger in center, Campbell Cassidy in right, and Nick Frink doing the catching for the birthday boy, Josh Kopetsky, celebrating what I can assume to be his 19th birthday, considering he's a rising freshman in college. He is heading to the University of Rhode Island this fall after graduating from Thornton Academy. This season he has 17 and a third innings pitched, a 2.42 ERA, which is 5th best in the league. Just got a lineup card blown right into my face. The wind is starting to pick up. I alluded to this in the first game. There was a very ominous forecast for this game in particular earlier today, but the sky currently is clear. Dark not from clouds, but from the setting sun. The wind, though, is more annoying than anything, considering there's no wind guard here. Jack LeBlond will lead things off for the Nor'easters against Kopetsky. Brady Graffam and Dawson Gunlaw, the others due up here in the top of the first. LeBlond, takes ball one. The shortstop today, LeBlond, a senior at USM out of Bridgeton Academy and Lewiston. That's fouled back, nearly got a light. Well, I mentioned this again in the first half of this doubleheader, but this is far from the most captivating action going on in the world of Maine baseball tonight. Specifically, the Little League team from Gray, New Gloucester is just one win away from earning the state of Maine's first berth in the Little League World Series since 2005. They are taking on Massachusetts tonight in a game that will have been decided by the time anybody hears this. So retroactive hopes out to them. I got to live that world. My brother played on Team Scarborough a few years ago. LeBlond grounds that past the glove of the second baseman Hotham and down for a base hit. Both teams lead off the game with singles. There will be no hit bids on either side tonight. That will bring up Brady Graffam, sophomore at USM out of Thornton Academy. He's hitting .246 with 9 runs batted in this year. With a man on first and none out, Graffam takes ball one. As I was saying, I remember that atmosphere well. Team Scarborough that year went in as the favorites to advance, but they fell to Saco and Old Town for third. Fouled back off the metal girder, 1-1. Nobody on that team in the GNCBL, at least the Scarborough team. High and tight. Kopetsky misses again. 3 balls in, 1 strike. Dawson Gunlaw on deck. Throws back to first. Does Kopetsky. And that's ball 4. 4 straight balls put Grafham on. And 2 base runners to start this game before the first out will bring up Dawson Gunlaw, who is a terrifying hitter to face in that position. Gunlaw started off this year looking like he might contend with Landon Schwartzman for the GNCBL's batting crown. He was batting north of 500 for the first third of the year. Cooled off in a big way after that. He's now batting a downright pedestrian .333, which is, of course, the #1 mark on a team filled with skilled hitters. He's batted in 7 runs as well. A senior at St. Joseph's. Catcher Nick Frink out to talk with his pitcher. Strategize on how to pitch to the 6-foot righty out of York High School with 2 men on and none out. Lightning already with activity in their bullpen, despite it being top of the first, and that's a balk called on Josh Kopetsky. So now 2 men in scoring position. The double play option is eliminated. That's a rare call. 0-1, big cut. That's Ian Libby, I believe, working in the Lightning pen. Fouled off to right. Actually, I think that's Quinn McDonald, who was the starting pitcher in the wild card game, pitched extremely well. .02 from Kopetsky. Missing high on a fastball. LeBlond at third, Grafham at second. None away in the top of the first. The Northeasters wasting no time. But Gunlaw cuts and misses. That's a big first out for the Lightning starter. But now here's a Mound Conference. And I can't imagine we're about to see a pitching change right now. Just 3 batters into the ball game, but the available context clues do suggest that is imminent. You're not going to pull him in the first inning on your birthday. Or on his birthday, I should say. Andrew Merrill is the next man up, and Kopetsky will stay in. Merrill, a sophomore at East Connecticut State. He's hitting .351 on the year. So he's actually the current batting champion on the Nor'easter roster. I misspoke earlier by saying that it was Gunlaw. Taken for a ball. Merrill, an Oxford Hills native. 1-0. Another good take. And He'll be intentionally walked. Manager Matt Powers making that decision after Kopetsky falls down 2-0. Not the worst call, considering that opens up the possibility of a double play. Counterpoint, though, Luke Chessie will now bat with the bases loaded and none outs, which is a terrifying proposition. He swings at a pitch inside. Chessie is senior at Bowdoin's, hitting .270, but he's batted in 14 runs. That number could see a massive uptick here. Taken in for a ball. Saco native is Chessie. Nowhere to put him. LeBlanc, Graffam, and Merrill. Swings through that. Kopetsky. Missing outside. Quinn McDonald done with his warm-up routine. Based on the signs so far, if Kopetsky gives up a hit, then he might be done. It's not like the Lightning don't have pitchers to spare, but another massive K. He has now struck out two of the most terrifying power hitters in this lineup, and he is now 1 out away from escaping this bases-loaded jam. Only Ryan Robertson stands in the way of that. A sophomore at Immaculata, he's hitting .283 with 6 runs batted in. Kopetsky starts him off right down the middle. Robertson is from Bowdoin, the town, not the college. Went to Mount Ararat High School. 0-1. Just misses. Kopetsky quite possibly has cashed in his birthday wish on escaping this first inning snafu, and he's now 1 strike away from doing just that. Robertson can salvage this. 1-2. Well inside. Lightning dugout was raring to celebrate. Strike 3, they'll have to wait. Kopetsky's 2-2. 2 out, bases juiced. Comebacker caught! With cat-like reflexes, Josh Kopetsky gets out of it, loads the bases with 1 out, and nary a run crosses the plate. What a way to start this one. After 1, improbably no score here in Sanford. Bottom of the second. Lightning possessing some momentum. Top of the second, I should say, excuse me. Having just escaped a bases-loaded jam, Dylan Miner will try to neutralize their bats for a second straight inning. Nick Frink, Henry Lodger, Gus Holland due up. A former of whom now bats with 1 strike. Nick Frink out of Thornton Academy, also Scarborough High School. Waves at and misses strike 2. A student of the 3 true outcomes. He home runs, strikeouts, and walks, though he has not hit a home run so far this year. Not a lot of playing time for him. That's down the third baseline out of play. But make no mistake, he is more than capable. In fact, in the wild card game, he launched a shot, probably the furthest hit ball I've seen this entire season. But it hooked just foul off to the left. 0-2 from Miner, missing high. Into right field, that'll drop down for a base hit. For a second straight inning, the Lightning start off with a single. Last time that ended in a pickoff. Or a double play, rather. Henry Lodger now will stand in with 1 away. Batting .154 with 5 runs batted in. Throw down to first, close, but no out. Lodger committed to Husson out of Thornton Academy. Fouled off the mask of the home plate umpire for strike one. It's taken low. Stopped by Dylan Furman to prevent the runner advancing. Lodger, member of a Thornton Academy squad that came within a agonizing 4-2 loss to the eventual champion South Portland of taking the Red Riot's spot in that title game. Jammed back foul out of play. 1-2. This game now officially a nightcap. These men playing under the lights as every batter's dream. 1-2 from Minor, misses badly, but Furman able to dig it out of the dirt. Frink on first. That's right down the middle. Henry Lodger looks at Dylan Minor's first K. One away now for Gus Holland. The catcher slash designated hitter as he hits tonight out of Freeport. He's heading to USM in the fall. This summer he's hitting .354 with 5 runs batted in. One on, one out. 1-1 the count. That almost rhymes. As with the last game, neither team having trouble getting base runners, which is a contrast to the GNCBL as a whole of late. It's a league dominated by pitchers, but the hitters are getting some time to shine today. As with the first game, it took a couple innings before anyone got any real momentum. The Patriots did score in that top of the first, but it was isolated. Swing and a miss. Second straight K. No, that was strike 2 on Holland. Minor to fulfill my prophecy, chooses to throw to first instead. Just got a piece of it. The Lightning, or the Nor'easters rather, were able to somewhat cruise to a 1 seed. They were the only team on the final day of the regular season whose seed was already clinched. They won their only game. On the ground, a second, won't try for a double play. Throws over to first. Does the shortstop Jack LeBlanc for out number 2. Frink advances to second on the fielder's choice. Now Henry Bebo will bat with 2 down and a man on second. A Portland High School graduate. Bowdoin College commit. Takes strike 1 from Minor. Minor's a finalist, a former finalist for Mr. Maine Baseball Award his senior year of high school. That award was won by a familiar name to many, Lucas Francis, who closed out the Norseman's win about an hour ago. Oh, 2. Into right. Looping foul. Minor to Strand Frink at second. Pitch just misses. And again, just low and away of the strike zone. 2-2, 2 on, a man on second, 1 on, but he's on base number 2. It was a rickety plan, but we landed it. Minor. And that's ball 4. It was 3-2 all along. Nope, he's getting called back. The count on the scoreboard was, in fact, correct. That was ball 3. He'll have to put his elbow guard back on, grab his bat, and head back to the batter's box. It's all right. Counting to 4 doesn't have to be everyone's strong suit. And that's into right field, down for a single. He's lucky he didn't take that walk because Frink rounds third, and he comes in to score. The relay throw is offline. How about a 2-out lead-grabbing double to put the Lightning on the board for Henry Bebo. Lightning take a 1-0 lead early. That momentum does, in fact, carry from defense to offense. Now Grady Hotham will stand in. The Palermo, Maine native, commit to USM, loops that off the end of the bat, foul into right. Hotham has hit 122 this summer with 7 runs batted in, struck out 22 times. From here on out, we'll be referencing regular season stats only. That's down the third base line. Stopped by the third baseman, but no play to be made. Lappin could have lunged in and tried to tag out Bebo if he had thought of it, but that does not come to everyone's mind. So runners on the corners with 2 outs. Third hit allowed by Minor, and now the 9-man for the Lightning, Matthew Connor. The left fielder out of Lewiston, runner goes, and Furman thought about it but chose not to. So 2 in scoring position. Base hit would add a couple more. They'll be running on contact. Minor. And the rain has begun to fall. It held off for as long as we could have reasonably hoped, but that was like a switch just flipped. It was clear a second ago, but now it is falling like a wave. Connor looks at ball 2. Almost looks like snow. It's falling so slowly. You can see it in the lights. To first, fielded by Graffam, races a foot race, and Graffam wins that to retire the side, but the Lightning strike first. A timely 2-out, 2-base hit for Henry Bebo gives the 4 seed a 1-0 advantage as we head to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second, the Nor'easters hoping for a more productive inning. against Josh Kopetsky as this rain continues to fall. It's not raining particularly hard, but it is a steady stream. Ball one goes into Michael Weirn, junior at St. Joseph's out of Ellington, Connecticut. He hits that one well into the left center field gap. He's going to try and stretch it to a double. That might be ill-advised, though. Throw comes into Hotham at second, but he can't corral it. That is a leadoff two-base hit for Michael Weirn. Perhaps an instrument with which to snatch that momentum back. Dylan Furman has a flair for the dramatic. He will bat next. Known for his timely extra base hits, the catcher takes a massive cut for the downs on strike one. Furman, a sophomore at USM out of Stratham, New Hampshire. He's hitting .314 this season with 8 runs batted in, and that's out to left. And he unable to make the catch is Matthew Connor. He lost that, slipped on the wet grass perhaps, and that'll be a free run scoring from second to tie this game with 2 straight doubles to lead off the second. This time the Nor'easters can capitalize, and it's a 1-1 game here in the second. Matthew Connor, that looked like it was going to be a routine play, but I think he slipped. He lost traction on the wet grass out in left field, and Furman was able to capitalize. Now Chris Balzano will bat with a man on second and none on, man on second, none out, a run already in. Balzano out and left today, junior at Roger Williams. Strike one. The outfield today, Balzano, Weirn, and Robertson. Robertson out and right. It has been a rotating cast of characters at that position to replace the injured Brett Federico, who is out for the season. Robertson getting a crack at the position today. He can play just about anywhere. He's also the team's backup catcher. Big cut. 2-2. Kopetsky once again in trouble, and he already knows he won't be as lucky as he was in the first. Cashed in that one birthday wish. Everyone knows you only get one, and this sky is a bit too dark for shooting stars. The rain has stopped, at least for the moment, as Balzano cuts and misses at strike 3. But the forecast did call for scattered storms, so take that with a grain of proverbial salt. The 10th and final hitter in the lineup for the Nor'easters, Gus Lappin. A junior at Husson out of South Portland. Takes strike 1. Already looking to be another close, tight game here. 1-1. Hopefully a bit less testy than the last one. The tempers flared a bit when an apparent swing and a miss at strike 3 from Ben Seguin of the Norsemen into a strike him out, throw him out double play was ruled to be a foul ball that did not reach the net of the Patriots catcher, even though it really seemed as though it did. Patriots manager Tim Downing and several Patriots fans let their grievances be heard, especially when that plate appearance turned into a walk that ultimately resulted in the Norsemen scoring. It wouldn't have mattered as the Norsemen won by 2, but still not ideal. That is a line shot into the bullpen, and that hit somebody. That was a Lightning player, caught him right in the shoulder. I thought it might have got him in the head at first, but he's laughing it off and grabbing the shoulder. That was Nick Swain. Shockingly, the first time I've seen that happen this year. 2-2. Offering goes high, full count with 1 out and a man on second. Nor'easter's trying to take the lead here. And they will not with the bat of Lappin, second straight K for Kopetsky. Starting to find his form, perhaps. That is already his 4th strikeout. And that will bring up Jack LeBlanc for a second time. He started this game off with a single, got to second on a Brady Graffin walk, third on a Josh Kopetsky balk, but was stranded there. Strike 1 in from the Thornton Academy graduate. And again, could this be the Josh Kopetsky we're so accustomed to finally appearing? 0-2. Just misses. He was ready to walk off the mound. 1-2 on the senior at the University of Southern Maine. Mile high pop-up. Ranging is the catcher, and he can't get it. He lost it in the light, perhaps, and that will go as a foul ball. There was a miscommunication. Frink, Kopetsky, and the first baseman Gilboy all converged on it. Neither of the 3 called for it. Luckily, it didn't matter too much. Would have been a free out. Now Kopetsky will have to work a little bit harder, at least 1 pitch harder, to get it. 1-2 from the lefty, and he'll get it right there, striking out the side after allowing back-to-back doubles, but those doubles do net the Nor'easters a run to tie this game as we head to the 3rd, anyone's contest, where they trip to winners finals on the line. To the 3rd inning we go. Dylan Miner on for his 3rd inning of work. Has allowed 1 run on 3 hits thus far. He'll be facing off against the top of the order for the Lightning once more. Andrew Heffernan started this game off with a single before falling victim to a Campbell Cassidy double play. One-0 from the Shakopee Valley native. Graduate, I should say. Into right. Going back, Robertson. And he can't make the grab. He lost that with a bit of depth perception missing there. It's a lot of dropped balls and missed easy outs here on both sides. That will lead this thing off with a leadoff double of sorts. That went off the glove of Robertson. Perhaps a bit unfamiliar playing in the outfield. And that is hit high, but catchable. And this time, Chris Balzano makes no drama of that catch. Any ball off the bat of Campbell Cassidy makes your heart stop for a good second, but that one was harmless. One away for Richie Gilboy. Heffernan on second, he can run. Gilboy grounded back out to the pitcher. Dances out of the way of that. Good stop by Dylan Furman. One to one here in the 3rd. That misses outside. Lightning poised to take the lead back. Throw back to second. Dylan Furman thought about it. Dylan Miner, excuse me. The Dylan battery here, just realized. Hard hit, but foul out to left. That goes over everything. There are houses back there. I wonder how annoying the constant sound of ball going off bat is at this time of night. 3-1. Surely anyone who lives in those houses knows what they're signing up for. It's hard to miss this giant field right down the street. That misses for ball 4. 2 on, 1 out for Nick Frink, who has scored the Lightning's only run. He singled, got to second on a fielder's choice before Henry Bebo doubled him home. Runner goes. Both of them go. Throw down to third by Furman. That's going to be in time to get out number 2. Heffernan didn't get as good a jump as he wanted to, and now a man on second with 2 out. It's basically the exact same position as it would have been had Gilboy simply made an out, except it's Gilboy on second rather than Heffernan. He's a less potent runner on the base paths. But Nick Frink is hoping that won't matter once he's done with Dylan Furman offering he likes. Massive cut at strike 1. Two and 1 from Furman. On the ground to third. Throwing over in time to retire the side. The Lightning strand 1. We head to the bottom of the third. Josh Kopetsky out to continue his birthday outing in the bottom of the third with Brady Graffam, Dawson Gunlaw, Andrew Merrill due up, the heart of the nor'easter order. Graffam in the first walked, got to second on a balk, but he was left there along with the occupants of the other 2 bases. Takes strike 1 from Kopetsky. This game has massive ramifications for either side, of course. If the Nor'easters can win, they clinch a home field game at Old Orchard Beach against the Norsemen, who they have had no trouble with over the course of this season. 1-2 on Graffam. A win in that game would get them to the doorstep of the championship, needing to win only 1 game and 2 tries. That's on the ground to second, fielded by Hotham. Over to Gilboy for out number 1. Now I'll bring up Dawson Gunlaw, who struck out his first time up. First of 2 Ks in that inning for Kopetsky. The Lightning, meanwhile, are playing for the upset. If they got to the winners finals, the Norsemen would get home field advantage, but Lightning still would be in a massive chance coming out of the wild card game, needing only 2 more wins to capture their 2nd straight GNCBL title. That is, of course, all hypothetical. They are still deadlocked at 1. 1-1 from Kopetsky. Big cut from Gunlaw. Comes up empty. That's inside. Kopetsky already with 5 strikeouts, including 3 consecutive swinging Ks to end that last inning after giving up 2 doubles and a run. Off the end of the bat into right. Caught by Cassidy, barely had to move. Andrew Merrill was intentionally walked to load the bases in the first inning. After Gunlaw struck out, Kopecky fell behind 2 balls and no strikes against Merrill, the .351 hitter. And so his manager made the call to intentionally walk him, and that ended up working out as Merrill swings for the fences on that. Kopecky got the next man to strike out and then caught a wicked comebacker off the bat of Ryan Robertson to end that inning. Strike 2 on Merrill. He's not pleased with that call. Skips in the dirt. Two out, none on for the Oxford native. 1-2 from Kopecky. Merrill fights it off. One, two. Taken inside. Two out. Cut and a miss. That's strikeout number 6. And that ends the inning for Kopecky. He has really found his groove here. To think he almost got pulled in the first inning. Feels like a lifetime ago. Still his squad locked in a 1-1 tie. We head to the 4th here in Sanford. To the 4th inning we go. Dylan Miner on for his 4th inning of work. He allowed 2 base runners in the previous inning, but only faced 4 as Andrew Heffernan was picked off at 3rd trying to complete a double steal. Henry Lodger will now bat against the Sacapee Valley graduate. Missing low is the 6'5" righty. Lodger struck out looking for Miner's first and thus far only K. Takes strike 1. Apologize for the occasional muting. I don't want to blow anybody's ears out with clearing my throat. That's off the end of the bat. Foul to right. I think that actually cleared the fence. The fence, bizarrely, does actually extend past, not even the foul pole, but past the warning track and into the parking lot. Wonder what they give you if you hit a home run there. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Lodger goes down on strikes for the 2nd time. Miner is sourcing all of his strikeout imports from that one spot in the order. Does not seem sustainable, but just 1 earned run to his name so far. Gus Holland hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. No bullpen activity in the Nor'easters' side yet, and it's hard to blame him. Miner is continuing his streak of excellent starts. If his bats can string some hits together, he's home free with a win. Of course, Josh Kopecky on the other side can say the exact same thing. This is quickly turning into a pitcher's duel. That caroms to the backstop. Gus Holland, future USM Husky, where he will join the man he is facing on the mound currently. Miner will be in his senior year. Holland, his freshman. All these Lightning players, of course, rising freshmen. 2-2. Foul. The temperature dropping quickly now that night has fallen. Luckily, don't have to deal with any more rain, but what started when I pulled into the parking lot today. It was almost 90 degrees. That's off the end of the bat into center. Nope, shallow second. Perspective a bit off there, but Luke Chessie grabs that for out number 2. It was 87 degrees as the games were about to start. I don't have the temperature on me right now, but definitely a shade under that. As Henry Bebo will bat, he was the hero in the second inning, trying to lay down a 2-out bunt there. With Nick Frink at second and 2 outs, Bebo slapped a double into right field to drive in the Lightning's only run. He got to third rather, on a Grady Hotham single, but Matthew Connor stranded him there. 1-1. Taken well inside. Playoffs will take on a different tenor on Sunday and the coming days as the ranks on all the teams thin with players returning to school. So everyone hoping to make their mark on the games while they can. I myself am not long for this state. Syracuse University calls. As that's a hit by pitch. Bebo is aboard for the second time. Grady Hotham has singled. Bringing his unsightly 122 batting average up a tick. Looking to continue that trend. Two out and a man on for Minor. First pitch is inside. Throwing down to first. In vain. Now the Lightning seem to have another man warm up. I believe that's Gavin Belarjan. The Lightning honestly could trot out an ace caliber pitcher every individual inning and probably still be fine. Such is their roster composition. One more strike for Minor. And he gets it. Swing and a miss. Hotham goes down. That is strikeout on the season, number 23 for him. Not that anyone's counting. To the bottom of the fourth we go. Halfway home. And 1-1 the score here in Sanford. Bottom of the fourth. Halfway home in Sanford. Josh Kopetsky will retake the mound to face Chessie, Robertson, and Weirn. Luke Chessie struck out swinging his first time up. And he takes ball one here. The weather gods seem to have smiled upon this game as that's skied into foul territory. Gilboy giving chase, and he makes the catch. Did not lose that one in the lights. Quick out number one to bring up Ryan Robertson. There's a brief shower/downpour just to remind us lowly mortals that we are at the whims of the higher power before said higher power had enough fun. Skies are currently clear. Outside for ball one. Same spot, same call. Kopetsky, 3 1/3 innings. He's only allowed 3 hits on the game. Grounded to first, and that might be 4. That's off of Gilboy. That was a rocket that he did not field cleanly. So make that 4 hits. Ryan Robertson aboard with a single. Kopetsky has struck out 6 and walked just 1. And after the first inning and those first 2 hitters in the second, in fact, that is the first base runner he has allowed since Dylan Furman hit that RBI double. Fouled down the third base line by Michael Weirn, who doubled to start the second inning and would come around to score. The East Catholic High School graduate out of Ellington, Connecticut. He's hitting .295 this year. 3 runs batted in. Throw comes into first. That was very close. Robertson a bit lethargic on that dive back, but lives to tell the tale. A 1. In through the hole and down for a base hit. Michael Weirn is 2 for 2. And the Nor'easters once again in business for the first time since the second inning. Back-to-back hits for Dylan Furman, who also doubled, and we might be seeing a pitching change here with manager Matt Rogers coming out to talk with Kopetsky, whose birthday fun is seeming like it may be coming to an end. Although he might be staying out there. A large gaggle of Lightning players are heading out to the bullpen currently, so perhaps Power sticks with his man. Furman trying to make more magic happen. He already has the lone run batted in for the Nor'easters, and indeed, the birthday boy will live to pitch at least one more batter. Dylan Furman, the leading candidate currently to ruin Kopetsky's night. And big 1-9 steps off the mound to look Robertson back to second. Check swing on a ball inside. One 0. Fouled back. And it's 0-2, actually. I think he called that first pitch a strike. Maybe said that Furman went around. That's in the dirt. Runners don't go. Acting first base coach Ryan Penny pleading with Michael Weir not to run, and he obliges. 1-2. In for strike 3. Big out number 2 for Kopetsky. That's his 7th strikeout. Furman goes down, and now Chris Balzano was the first of 3 straight strikeout victims in the second inning. Getting his second crack at the Rhode Island commit. 1-0 on Balzano, who also attends college in Rhode Island. He goes to Roger Williams. 2-0. Gavin Belargin continuing to warm in the Lightning pen. That's just misses. 3-0 count. 4-pitch walk would bring Gus Lappin to the plate. And I already alluded to what happened to him. But he will get one more chance. That will load the bases with 2 outs. Where have we seen this before? Ryan Robertson, down to third. Michael Weirin to second. The Nor'easters determined not to leave the bases loaded for a second time tonight. Gus Lappin has a chance to be the hero. Hits it high, foul back out of play. He struck out swinging against Kopetsky. This season he's batted in 10 runs. He's hitting .208. Can he add to that total? Or will Kopetsky keep this Harry Houdini act going? 1-1. Missing outside. Has to be careful now. This will probably be a pitch to hit. And Lappin thought that too. Ruing listening to my unsolicited advice perhaps. 2-2. 2 outs, bases juiced. Can lightning strike twice? It can! He went around. Strike 3. He goes down swinging for the second time. And also for the second time, Josh Kopetsky leaves 3 Nor'easters on base. To the 5th inning we go. A 1-1 tie. And anyone's game. To the 5th inning we go in the nightcap of this Goodall Park doubleheader. Dylan Minor will pitch to Matthew Connor, Andrew Heffernan, and Campbell Cassidy. And by Matthew Connor, of course, I mean Reese Owens, who will bat in Connor's stead. Owens, a Bonnie Eagle graduate, commit to St. Joseph's College, swings through strike 1. He's hitting .200 with 1 home run and 6 runs batted in. Dylan Minor has been cruising. That's fouled off himself by Owens. He's allowed just a handful of base runners since the 2nd inning. Nobody has made it past second base in that span. The last person to do that was Henry Bebo, who batted in the Lightning's only run. Big cut and a big K. Third of the game for Minor. Andrew Heffernan now is 1 for 1. He has singled and reached on an error. He hit a fly ball that the right fielder Ryan Robertson could not track. That ended up being a double for him. He was promptly thrown out trying to steal third. Interesting day all around for him. He's actually been thrown out on the base path twice, if you count being the first victim of a double play. In for strike 1. This is a large strike zone tonight. That's low. Campbell Cassidy on deck. He's been quiet. The Lightning as a whole have been rather quiet, aside from the 1 inning, but that is crushed out to left and will glide harmlessly into the glove of Chris Balzano. I don't know if I just think every ball off their bat is a home run because they're the Lightning, or if it just went that high that it thought it was going, but they continue to make me sound like a total fool. Heffernan, for the first time, makes an out. Campbell Cassidy is no stranger to that feeling. He is grounded out and flied out. taking ball 1. Off the end of the bat to second, Chessie on to Graffam, and that will retire the side. A nice quick inning for Minor and friends. He continues to cruise, but will his bats give him some more run support? We will see. Bottom of the 5th right after this. Bottom of the 5th at Goodall, and the Lightning will also have their starter go at least 5, or at least try to. Josh Kopetsky has rebounded from a dicey start and has left 6 nor'easters on base. 7 if you count Dylan Furman in the second inning. That is hit to short. Could not get the out, and he's called safe. Certainly looked like the throw beat him by a step, but the umpire makes their ruling. And Jack LeBlanc legs out an infield hit to start off this game. Start off this inning, I should say. That's his second hit. 8th surrendered by Kopetsky. That was hit right at the glove of the shortstop Bebo. He couldn't corral it and then threw on to first. A bang-bang play. 1-0 on Graffam, who has walked and grounded out. Will this be the inning? The Lightning capitalize now in the middle of a plate appearance. Matt Powers coming out. You cannot pull your pitcher in the middle of a plate appearance. At least you can't by major league rules, but this is just a run-of-the-mill mound visit. No, this is actually a pitching change. So this 2-0 count will be inherited by Gavin Belarjan. Not something you see every day, but we'll see him continue that plate appearance right after this. So it is Gavin Belarjan taking the bump in lieu of Josh Kopetsky, who, by my best estimation, appears he is injured, because that is the only stipulation that allows for a pitcher to leave a game in the middle of a plate appearance. Belarjan will inherit this 2-0 count on Brady Graffam, the Woolwich native, Morris High School grad. Starts off with a strike. Gavin Belarjan threw just 13 innings this season and allowed just 1 earned run across all of his appearances. That inning total is not enough to qualify him for the ERA title, but if it was, his 0.54 mark would dwarf everyone else on that list. He has 14 strikeouts, also 13 walks, so that is potential rally fodder, but he just does not allow runs. So the Nor'easters have an uphill climb. Runner goes, swing and a miss, strike 2, and he's going to be out. Nick Frink gunning down LeBlanc for out number 1. So empty base paths now, and a 2-2 count for Graffam. And he gets all of that one out to left, closing in, and can't make the play. The left fielder Connor falls down on the way to second. Not that he would have been able to get a triple anyway, but I think he might be hurt. He pulled up and actually fell down in transit from first to second, and now he's grabbing that elbow. But perhaps more in irritation than outright pain. He's going to stay in the game. And if LeBlanc had not been cut down, that most likely would have been a run. So the Nor'easters kicking themselves for that one. Still, a runner on second with 1 away is an enviable position, especially for the Lightning, who can only dream of having a runner on second base with fewer than 2 outs. Dawson Gunlaw has struck out and flied out today. Be as good a time as any for his bat to come back to life. 2-0. Still no action in the nor'easter pen. Dylan Miner, it seems, will come out to pitch the 6th. He does have a complete game this year. Into center field. Tracking it down, Lodger makes the catch. Tagging and advancing to third is Graffam. So 2 out and a man on third. Sac fly from Gunlaw will bring up Andrew Merrill, who has been intentionally walked and struck out. For the 3rd time this game, the Nor'easters have a man on third and 2 outs. Can they capitalize? Or will Josh Kopetsky get the better of them yet again? First offering is low. Frink has to stop it. Ideally, it would pass ball or wild pitch would score Graffam irrespective of anything Merrill does or doesn't do. 1-0. Taken for strike 1. Under the lights. This game will have to be decided in the next couple innings. And how about a base hit into left field for Andrew Merrill? That will score Brady Graffam from third. And finally, the Nor'easters capitalize on a man in scoring position. Merrill's 2-out RBI single gives the Nor'easters their first lead of the game. Kopetsky had been playing with fire. But it's Belargin who comes on and gets burned. And that is his run because LeBlanc was thrown out. That's hit, got jammed up the middle on a 2nd for 1. And that will retire the side. But the Nor'easters, at long last, get some clutch hitting. It's Andrew Merrill who drives in the go-ahead run. And now the Lightning have just 2 more chances and 6 more outs to answer as we head to the 6th. To the 6th inning we go. Dylan Miner is keeping his complete game bid alive as he comes out to pitch the 6th. It will be the heart of the Lightning order, Gilboy, Frink, and Lodger. Richie Gilboy is grounded out to the pitcher and walked. Hits that hard down the left field line, but foul. That at home run distance. That had been just a few feet over. Miner has not allowed a base runner since the 3rd. Save for a 1 hit by pitch in the 4th. 1-1 to the Sopo slugger. Hits it hard into center. Going back on it, Gunlaw, and he makes the grab. That's Michael Warren, excuse me. Out number 1. Nick Frink now is the Lightning's 5th to final out. Frink has singled and grounded out. Also scored in the 2nd inning. The Lightning have nary a run since. The clock has struck 9:30 p.m. GNCBL action going this late is a special treat to play under the lights like this. 1-1 from Miner. Again, crushed but foul. I think that went under the road. Luckily, it is 9:30 at night in Sanford, Maine. Just missing inside ball 2. That has been a strike all night. Minor can make it moot. To short. Throwing on. Not in time. Grafham cannot dig that out of the dirt. It would have been an exceptional play. Frink has his second single. That's just the 4th hit allowed all game by Dylan Minor, along with a walk and a hit by pitch. That is all the Lightning have to show for their effort tonight. Henry Lodger has not done much to sully that reputation. He has struck out swinging and struck out looking. He and Gus Holland are combined 0 for 4. Holland is due up next. Just inside. Foul back. Nor'easters are 5 outs away from a date with the Norsemen in winners finals of this bracket at 1 p.m. on Sunday. That's on the ground at third, past the diving glove of Lappin and into left field. So all of a sudden, the Lightning with a bit of a rally going. Lodger with his first knock. First time that Minor has allowed multiple base runners in an inning since that second that he gave up the run. Gus Holland has grounded into a fielder's choice and popped out to second. The Freeport native can pull his team even, or at the very least get it to Henry Bebo, who has played well. Lays down a bunt, fielded by Minor, throwing on to get the second out, but the runners advance. Lodger to second, Frink to third, and Henry Bebo, who has driven in the Lightning's only run, will bat, and now a mound conference will commence. Could this be the end of the line for Minor? Two runners in scoring position and 2 out. Aaron Kiss up and working in the Nor'easter bullpen. But Minor will try to gut out one final out. He has not done so against Bebo in 2 tries. He has a double and a hit by pitch. Grounded back to him off the glove of Minor, and he's not going to get there. That just took an absolutely dismal carom off of the righty's glove, and the Lightning tie it up here in the 6th. Their first run in over an hour. And now have runners on the corners with 2 down for Grady Hotham. Bebo has his second hit. In for a strike to Hotham, who has singled and struck out. Minor, big cut from Grafham. That's Ryan Penny now working. One of the Nor'easters' top starters. Looking to come on in relief. Andrew Pruill is out there as well. All the troops rallied to the bullpen. But will it be too late? 0-2. On the ground, past the first baseman and into right field. That will score from third, and the throw down to third. Advancing all the way from first there was Bebo. He just barely beat out the tag. Lodger scores, and the Lightning take A 3-2 lead. I don't know why that said 6. That was 2-2. Now it's 3-2. Hotham just barely poked it through. He's got 2 hits today. Now all of a sudden, Minor is unraveling. Reese Owens has struck out. Minor has allowed 4 hits in this inning after surrendering just 3 in the 5 innings prior. Runners on the corners with 2 down. Runner thought about going. It's fouled back. Right after the Nor'easters finally rallied, the runner does go that time. Rope down the left field line, but foul. Right after the Nor'easters finally summoned their clutch factor, the Lightning bats come to life at the worst possible time. Dylan Minor fighting for his life now. 1-2. Inside. This will almost certainly be the last we see of him, regardless of what happens in this plate appearance. 2-2. In the dirt, and that rolls to the backstop. It got through Furman, and that is Lightning run number 4. Bebo takes advantage of the pass ball. Hotham to second. The Nor'easters have been prone to innings like this in the past. It happened against the Windjammers toward the end of the season. A promising game spiraled out of control, turned into a 9-point clobbering. 9-run clobbering, I should say. The Lightning have blown this game open just a bit. That's on the ground to third. Lappin over to first in time to record the out, but the Lightning finally able to get a rally going. 3 runs on the board. They lead at 4-2, and it's now the Nor'easters' turn to summon some fight. Robertson, Weirn, and Furman, the 3 due up in the bottom of the 6th, with the Nor'easters once again in dire need of a rally. Gavin Balarjian will be the man on the mound still for the Lightning. He did surrender just the second earned run of his summer an inning ago. So the Nor'easters can't hit him. Robertson has singled and lined out. He had a brutal comebacker, wicked line out right into the glove of Josh Kopetsky. It almost looked like it just put itself into the glove while he was in his follow-through from pitching, and that stranded 3 men on base in the bottom of the 1st, which, especially now, the right fielder might end up losing sleep over. Of course, everybody's losing sleep tonight. On the ground to short. Bebo to Gilboy for out number 1. As I was saying, everyone's losing sleep tonight, courtesy of the 8 o'clock start time. Not that I can complain. Michael Weirn has had himself a day. He's doubled and singled. Just the man Coach Max Zalewski wants to get a rally going here. 2 runs is absolutely doable, especially with 2 innings to do it. There's that bonus for being the home team. Weirn calls for time. Former GNCBL rookie selection. High school team captain. Takes ball 1. Quinn McDonald once again up and working in the Lightning pen. He may come on as the closer. Weirn looks at strike 1 right down the middle. Dylan Furman on deck. Just missing with that. Is the Morse High School graduate, UMaine commit, On the ground, right to Belarjan. Underhand toss to Gilboy for out number 2. Weird goes down for the first time. And Dylan Furman now will bat with 2 down and none on. Belarjan seems to have regained his typical form in the second inning of work. Furman has doubled and struck out. He drove in the first run of the game for the Nor'easters. Hits that well. Out to center. Going back Lodger, and he's under it for a quick third out. The Nor'easters go 1-2-3. They'll have to keep the Lightning off the scoreboard before their final chance to rally back and walk the thing off. Stay tuned. Top of the 7th coming right up. To the 7th we go, under the lights at Goodall Park. As expected, Dylan Miner's day is done after 6 innings, 7 hits, and 4 earned runs allowed. Ryan Penny on to replace him, a senior at Husson out of Thornton Academy. Really a shame what happened to Miner. He pitched 5 excellent innings, allowing just a lone run before the wheels came off. He gave up 4 hits, 4 of his 7 hits in one frame. 3 of those men came around to score. Deals ball 2 into Andrew Heffernan, who has singled, reached on an error, and flied out. Trying to keep this deficit manageable. There have been a few inflection points in this game. One, of course, was the Norsemen leaving the bases loaded in the bottom of the 1st and bottom of the 3rd. That was bottom of the 4th, rather. But the other, I would argue, was Coach Max Zalewski Jr. coming out during the bottom of the 6th when it seemed clear that Miner was showing signs of fatigue, talking it over and then choosing to leave him in the game. He immediately gave up 3 runs. I wonder if he would make that call again if given the opportunity. Heffernan draws ball 4. Leadoff walk from Penny, who is second in the GNCBL in walks and hits per innings pitched with 1.1, so an uncharacteristic base runner allowed from him. He's thrown 40 innings, 2.63 ERA, and 26 strikeouts. One of the most reliable arms in the lineup or in the rotation and out of the pen for Coach Zalewski. 6-foot-tall lefty. Now digs in against Cassidy, who has not had a great day. He was the hero of the wild card game. Today he's 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts and a flyout. And he hits that hard out to left. Going back and making a catch on the run. Wow, Chris Balzano had to cover a lot of ground. And Andrew Heffernan's lucky he didn't get himself doubled off right there. He thought that ball was at least going to be off the wall, if not gone. And he was rounding second when Balzano made that catch. Unfortunately, Balzano's momentum was carrying him the other way, so he couldn't turn around in time to complete the double play. But still, Ryan Penny appreciates that. 1 away for Richie Gilboy. He's also not had the best day at the plate. He has grounded out, flied out, and walked. 1 out. Penny throws down to first. And that will catch him in a pickle. That throw down to first is in time and catches Heffernan mid-steal. So for the second time today, Heffernan is thrown out on the base paths trying to steal. This time he's trying to steal second base. So 2 down and the base is empty for Richie Gilboy, and he gets under that. Into right center. Michael Weirn almost slipped on the wet turf, but regained his composure to get out number 3. Well, Ryan Penny, the defense, did their job. A couple of spectacular plays by the first baseman and left fielder. That will leave it in the hands of the bottom of the order for the Nor'easters. Balzano, Lappin, LeBlond. The 3 outs between this top seed and a trip to the loser's bracket a bit early than any of them would have liked. Don't go anywhere. It's coming right up. To the bottom of the 7th we go. The top seed in the GNCBL in dire straits. 13-10 record stands head and shoulders above the rest, but all that could be for naught if Gavin Balarjian can close this game out and give his team a 2-run win. Chris Balzano takes a mammoth cut, He has struck out and walked. This bottom 2 in the Nor'easters order is 0 for 3 with 3 Ks and a walk. Another big cut from Balzano. Getting a bit of deja vu. This is almost the exact scenario that the Patriots dealt with. That was in the top of the 7th of the last game, down by 2 with 2 strikeout-prone hitters and a hot hitter due up in that order. Jack LeBlond has had a good day at the plate. Into left, foul. Balarjian trying to close this out without incident. The Nor'easters have got the better of the Lightning in the regular season. They played 4 times. The Nor'easters took 3 of those. But on the biggest stage, the tables are about to turn as Balzano's fighting for his life, down 0-2, fouled off the last 2. Any hit could be the start of something. 0-2 from Balarjian. Missing high. Gus Lappin on deck. Drama never in short supply under the lights at Goodall. Balzano, another good take. 2-2. Lightning do have Quinn McDonald, if they need him. He is warm. And that's strike 3. Balzano not happy. A beautiful curveball just nicked the corner of the strike zone, and Balzano goes down on strikes for the 2nd time. That will bring up Lappin, who has struck out swinging twice. It has not been his day. I wondered if you might see a pinch hitter in his spot, but Zalewski going with his starting third baseman. Takes ball 1. That rolls to the backstop. Taking that one right down the middle. That was your pitch. Jack LeBlond on deck. Into right, past the glove of Grady Hotham and in for a base hit. And this could be how it starts. Gus Lappin breaks a cold spell with his first hit. First hit surrendered it by Balarjian in a while. And now Jack LeBlond will bat. He has singled twice and struck out. Also been thrown out trying to steal second. He is the tying run. Nor'easters looking for a miracle. And a massive cut. LeBlond was trying to make it all back at once, but comes up empty. He has 9 runs batted in, batting .333 on the season, and that is up today with 2 hits. That skips past Frink to the backstop. That moves Lappin into scoring position. A wild pitch from Balarjian. Brady Graffam on deck, who has also had a productive day. Hearts in the throats of Nor'easters fans and players. 1-1. Just misses. We've had two dramatic finishes here today. 2-1 from the Woolwich native. Again missing. Hitters count for Jack LeBlond, the Lewiston native. Umain transfer, showcasing what kind of skills he'll be bringing to USM, and how about drawing a walk from Balarjan? He is prone to issuing those. He leads the Lightning staff in walks issued, and just like that, pair of base runners and one away. All Brady Graffam has to do is not hit into a double play, but he'll get some time to mull it over as manager Matt Powers heading out to check on his man. Could be seeing a pitching change here. As I said, Quinn McDonald is warm. He started the wild card game and pitched very well. Looks like just a strategy decision, though. Brady Graffam has walked, doubled, and grounded out. Has also scored. He was on third when Andrew Merrill singled him home back in the fifth. Felt like a real momentum shift, but little did the Nor'easters know it was a calm before a 3-run lightning storm. But now Brady Graffam can play the hero. He is the winning run. The tying run is on first. Balarjan in trouble. Hits that into center. Going back, Lodger. And he can't pull it down. He can't make the catch. And the bases are going to be loaded with one out in the bottom of the seventh. Some divine intervention on the part of the Nor'easters. Henry Lodger had that squared up and he just couldn't pull it down. At the very least, that would have advanced the runners. But now, a bona fide jam for the Lightning's ace. And once again, a mound conference, this time for Dawson Gunlaw. He's 0 for 3 today. He's struck out flat out and hit a sac fly. Manager Powers consulting with the umpire. And this will be a pitching change. It appears Balarjan handed Powers the ball. And he did. So the Lightning, a trip to winners finals hanging in the balance, and Andrew Heffernan will be their man. Wait to see the thrilling conclusion of this one right after this. Back to the action, and boy, do we have some action to spare. The bases are loaded with one out. Gus Lappin at third, Jack LeBlond at second, Brady Graffam at first, and Andrew Heffernan is in to close this one out. He is the closer for the Lightning. He closed out the wild card game, and he will try to navigate out of a bases-loaded jam. The Nor'easters have left the bases loaded twice in this game, and for them to leave them loaded here would just be the cruelest of ways for this to end. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Dawson Gunlaw stands in with one strike. He is 0 for 3, as I said, but can buck that and be the hero with one pitch there. Ball gets away from Frink, but bounces back toward the field of play, so nobody can advance. Andrew Merrill on deck. He was the savior in clutch time back in the fifth with a 2-out single to score what was then the go-ahead run. All Gunlaw has to do is not ground out, and the inning will get to him. Or I suppose the Nor'easters get into some kind of base running snafu. Nor'easters do have a man up in the pen in case this game goes to extras. That's Aaron Kiss. Because, yes, we do have the possibility of extra innings. And in case you're wondering, yes, it is 10:03 p.m. currently. And I've never been more excited at the prospect of watching more of this game. On the ground to second. On to one. To first. Diving. Gunlaw is able to beat it out, so one run does come in. Lappin scores from third to make it a 4-3 game. That looked off the bat like it could be a game-ending double play, but Gunlaw, with a smart dive, was able to salvage it. LeBlanc down to third, Graffam thrown out at second, and Gunlaw on with the fielder's choice. So 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. Up to the bat comes Andrew Merrill. Merrill has been intentionally walked and hit a single. He's also struck out. Another Mound Conference. Effernan has only faced one batter, so he can't be pulled. But lots of strategy ongoing. Merrill's strategy likely to hit the ball into the field of play. The tying run is 90 feet away. The winning run is on first. Hunter Brissett comes on to pinch run for Gunlaw. Strategy decision made by manager Selewski. Brissett quicker on his feet. He'll be running on contact anyway. 1 run in. Do the Nor'easters have any magic left? Balarjian misses low with a ball. That's Heffernan, rather. Missing again. The Nor'easter bench, loud as ever. 2-0 on number 21. Into center field. Lodger tracking it. And he makes the grab. And that will do it. The Nor'easters put up a valiant effort, but their comeback attempt falls short. And the Lightning pull off the upset 4-3. They are now 2 wins away from their second straight GNCBL title. The Nor'easters, meanwhile, gave it everything they've got. And will have to continue to do that as they head to the losers bracket gauntlet to face off against the Patriots on Sunday. I will be live streaming that one along with winners finals, which is going to be Norsemen versus Lightning. You will be able to watch that live from the ballpark at Old Orchard Beach if you can't attend in person, which, by the way, attended in person. If you've seen these games today, you know these games are all going to be incredible spectator events, and I want as many people there as possible. But for those who can't, you'll be able to hear me call it. Until then, though, I've been Charlie Fellows. Take care.